Coming to you at 1500 hours and 43 minutes. That is 3:43 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern time. I'm going to start doing that when I do afternoon shows. And it's Wednesday, September 11th. I was going to do a video, but a lot of things on my mind because of the date. And just I want to start off the rest all the souls that was taken and that was lost and that was stolen from people, family, their lives, their loved ones and friends, just for the government can have some conspiracy or to prove a point, to make sure history come true, and all those people that was involved and that they lost family members, we rest their souls and we give them the honor, the praise. And hopefully in the time period since 2001 that you have somewhat recovered in 2019, September 11th, on this day, from those people being lost. I remember this day so vividly. I was checking in to my duty station. I was checking into North Carolina, Camp MCS New River. It's an air station. The unit was H&M Squadron 162. That's CH-46 helicopter unit. I was an aircraft administrative maintenance specialist. Basically, I was a logbook tracker. I kept track of all the parts on the aircraft, from the rotor to the tires to the siding panel that need to be replaced. And when it needed replaced, we reported to OSHA for safety purposes. And then when the new engine came in, the new logbook came in with that engine and that new rotor, we had to make sure all the parts was basically the numbers matched up, and we had to log them in our system. And some nights that's an extra, and then once you learn how to do it, boom, 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 take 2-3 hours to get it in the system. And then by the next morning, the guys, or if we flying that night or we not flying, if we not flying, that's even better. I mean, the aircraft we can pull an aircraft up in the hangar deck, and then if a number is off, we can go look at it ourselves to make sure that number is right, and then check back with OSHA so we have all the correct numbers. So anything will be on point, and we be all straight, all good, and nothing would go wrong, and then they can fly the aircraft and need it in a certain situation. In my unit, after that, we went to 9/11 right away. We was there for 9 months, and we was medevac. I did a couple of those missions, and my main mission out there, I was augmented out to the MP, so he was a security squad. We was a United States Marine Corps security squad in Iraq. We went to Djibouti, Nazaria. We went to Kuwait and Kuwait City. And at some point, I had a good time. And at some point, it was very hard to watch because we wasn't the first line. And we got to help the infantry out in the recon. The recon helped us when we sleep. And while they're sleeping and resting, we was out there protecting them and doing our job. And they was in the midst of it. And it was only 10 of them. So 10 of them protected us at night. They did a great job. And they only got one man hurt. He didn't die. He didn't get hurt too bad. Out of 10 guys for almost 9 months, only one of them got hurt. They was out there with us. And no matter what the military side it was, Army, Navy, or Air Force, we was all working together. It's one thing, Air Force don't see combat. So if you want to join any service, they get better pay. They get better things for better enlistment bonus for college and all that. If you want to join the service, I recommend and I don't. I'll look at the person and I want to get to know them. Then I'll decide if I will say, oh, you might be right. You might not be right. And it's nothing against, and when just because you're not right for the service, don't mean you're not good at nothing else. You don't have to prove nothing. I will tell that even in sports, when my nephews get hurt, you don't have to prove nothing. And what made me want to speak, because a lot of things have been going on, and that we ignore our news. I want to ask you, how does news get reported? If right now I get hurt, or if I get shot, or I pass away, I'm just laying here, how does the news get reported? We talk about certain things as bad. Is gossip bad? In some cases, it would be great because then it help my family find out that I'm hurt or not here or something went wrong with me. But in most cases, news has to get reported by people that has to call the news station. There's not a camera in here dictating whether I'm going to be able to report. I don't care what's on my phone. You can say the government watching you or whatever, but they're not reporting that. The news, somebody have to call the news station, and it has to be reported. Or the news line has to have a scanner or be linked to a radio station where at the police call or the landline where they can hear that. That's the only way the news get reported. So you got to remember that. Another thing I want to talk about is off and on the topic. Being in the military, I come back home, and I want to talk about back in the 50s and the 60s, when our women say they was unsupported. Yeah, because we was at war. But when we came back, nobody talked about how these men, even me, I wasn't back in the 60s, but I had to think about when I came back. Who was there for me? Who had my back? Who was covering me? Who cared about me besides my mother? We hear all these stories about men or about women need to be protected, honest, cherish them, the happy wife, happy life. We never hear nothing about men. When do we get to cry? When do we get the benefit of the doubt? When do we? Because nobody talks about that. You can say that men is a so-called patriarch and all this other crap you want to talk about. But in reality, there's nothing for men, especially for African descendant men. There's nothing for us when I came back home. There's nothing. Wasn't no woman waiting to congratulate me besides my mother and sisters, which I love. But that was it. There was no woman. So why do the same race women get so much of our comfort, our cherish, and our honor that we don't even honor and cherish the men, even on Father's Day? 12% to 60%. Think about that. 60% of profits around the world goes to mothers on Mother's Day. 12% around the world of profit goes to men. Think about that. So when do men get to cry? When do we get to share our feelings? When do we get the benefit of the doubt? When do we? Like, when is us? We'll talk about the me movement. When did Terry Crews spoke out? When did Terry Crews they knocked him down? When did the men come from war get love? Where was their love at? We have a mother we have a woman that's so quote unquote perfectly okay. She's A-okay. We're going to put it that way. Not going to say perfect, because y'all think perfect means something different, which it don't. It means established, whole, and complete. But okay, whatever. We're going to go by your definitions and standards of the word perfect. She can have 3 kids and go through college, and she can strip. She can have her titty out everywhere. She can breastfeed anywhere. She get that. We fighting for that. Wear your nipples, free the nipple movements, walk around naked movements, all this stuff. But when does that even matter to our society, our Soviet, quote unquote, commas, parentheses, society? Do that matter? Do that matter for the men? How does that help any side of the race? What race are we in now? Are we racing for each other, racing for betterness? Are we racing to love each other, to treat each other good? Out of all these people I watch, even some people I really care, I call part of my family. We're not talking about loving each other. We're not talking about helping them, helping the man out. Oh, if a man can't do it, I remember a man told me, "Oh, brother, you can't. I don't know about you. You can't stand on your own." I said, "Cool. I wouldn't want to be friends with a dude that I know when he down and he needs some help. I take my brother, I grab his hand, and I help him up. We go this way. We go to the right way. We don't go to the wrong way. We don't go to the left. We go the right way. We go north. We don't go south. You ain't my brother then. I don't need no brother that way. Because I know my brother was down. I come and help him. I'm always there. I'm a helping hand. I'm a helping iron. They say you go right hand man. How you a right hand man? You don't got your right hand man back. That's why when people talk about, oh man, he my associate, he my homie, he my buddy, he not my friend. To be my friend, I'm on the ground and you kicking me, you ain't my friend. I'm not gonna never forgive you. Forgiveness, actually, the original meaning of forgiveness and forgive means to surrender. I'm not going to surrender. I'm not giving up. I'm not defeated by you. I still have feet to stand, so I will stand and rise. So, as we go on about this, think about this, our brothers and sisters. When do the black man, the African descendant man, when do he get his time? When do he get the cry? When do he get the... When is the time when we shed a light and say, damn, the reasons there's no fathers because there wasn't no fathers there for that man. Well, he's not... When do we say that? But we give the woman that got 5 kids by 5 different men the benefit of the doubt. It's not a diss. This is our reality. She's great. She's all right. We give the woman that just because somebody of her the same race man didn't honor her and kiss her ass and treat her a certain way because she only wanted a certain type of man, we get to say, oh, that's why they're unsupported. So they're unprotected. I mean, so if our African descendant American women are unprotected, does that not make the man unsupported? And when are we gonna get back to loving one each other? So I'll say unto us, I say unto all, rest the souls that's been lost, that's been taken too early, and hopefully in the 19 years that have passed, the journey and the path has gotten better. You have gotten better. You have gotten stronger. You ever carry on the legacy and the heritage of the people that's no longer here. And hopefully this year, and since that time, the other loved ones rest their souls that has lost their lives or their time have passed on. And we rest their souls and we give them the honor and the praise and we give them the glory. And thank you, Creator, for allowing all this to be in the good times and the bad. But we understand that as long as we keep doing what's best for us, our friends and our loved ones and our family, the best will come out. That never will change. I don't waver, and we always will prosper. So I say unto my brothers and my sisters, I salute you. I salute you, my brothers and sisters, and everybody and their friends, their loved ones, and family. Selah.